Hey yo everyone, RG here and welcome to a Building 101 for Beginners, how to build a house course, you can call it if you want. How to build a house 101 with me. I'm RG. I build malls, I build modern house, suburbans, mid-century, I build rocket launcher, I build so many things. So yeah, I decided that I'm gonna do a building course for beginners, those who are a bit struggling to create a house or even start building a house. It's not gonna be a super fast video because I'm gonna show you so many stuff. I'm gonna cover styles of the house, size, location, where to build your house. I'm gonna share with you a formula how to know what is the size of the lot and the size of the build in that lot compared to the lot. Okay, I'm gonna share with you a formula for beginners, how to know what is the right size for your house. I'm gonna cover here how to build a house from a box. Okay, I hear a lot of people, RG, I know how to build a beautiful box. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how you create from that basic box a beautiful house. Okay, there is a way to do this and I'm gonna share it with you in this video. I'm gonna cover roofing and colors and windows and landscaping and so many things. By the way, right now on the screen you can see all the things that I'm gonna cover, where they are in the video, and of course you have timelines on the bottom of the video. You can just skip to the point that you want to see first, or if you are a beginner and a novice in the game, this is basically one time watching course for you, and after that you're gonna build your own house. So without further ado, let's jump into the video, and I'm gonna start with my first tip for you. Pick your style, lot location and size, and this is very important in that order. Okay, put that in mind that when you're creating something in the Sims 4 game, you want to make sure that the style of your house will fit the location that you choose to build it in. Okay, so let's say for an example that if you're trying to build an off-the-grid house, you're not gonna build it in, I don't know, San Maisuno. It's not gonna be over there because San Maisuno is for, I don't know, apartments. It will just feel and look weird if you're gonna try and build an off-the-grid house in this neighborhood or in this map, okay? And for an example, if you're trying to build a mid-century house, okay, you're not gonna build it in Sulani, okay, because this is a place to build shacks and beach houses and stuff like that, okay? So if I already mentioned it, mid-century houses, if you ask me, you're gonna go with Oasis Spring. Why? Because if you notice here on the right bottom, all of those houses, this neighborhood right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of those 4 houses are kinda in the mid-century style houses, okay? This is a mid-century style housing. So you see, this is very important. Pick your style before you even start thinking of the build itself. It will give you much easier lines, guiding lines to go with in the location you're gonna choose, in the size of the lot you're gonna build. So for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna go with modern house. And remember, this is a guide for beginners. I'm not gonna build a huge modern house, okay? I'm giving you the tools for basic builds. And because I'm gonna go with modern house, the best place for modern house build, if you ask me, it's gonna be either in Willow Creek, which can take basically any type of house. If you ask me, again, this is my opinion. Or if you go to Winterberg, yes, I know, you might be surprised, but in Winterberg, in the island over here, if you watch this one, this one, this one, and this one, all of those 4 houses are kinda in the vibe of modern style houses, okay? As you can see, this house is almost a modern house, like today's modern house. The coloring, the style, the flat roof. By the way, this is one of the most iconic symbols for a modern house, the flat roof. I'm gonna cover it in a bit, but you see, this is a location for a modern house. I'm gonna take this location right here, which is 20 by 20 size, and this is the third thing. You remember? The third thing in my first tip is size of your build. And because we are doing a small size, okay, because we are beginners here, okay, you do not want to go overhead with buildings that are, I don't know, 64 by 64, or you don't want to go with a I don't know, 40 by 40, 40 by 30, 40 by 30, it's still big house for you as a beginner, okay? So this is the same tip. Try to go with a small up to medium sized builds. And those lots are 15 by 15, 20 by 20, 30 by 30, and not over it. Okay, you can go with 20 by 30 and 15 by 20, but do not go with 40 by 40 and 50 by 50. It will give you, as a beginner, a really hard time. So that's gonna bring me to tip number 2. Determine the build size. And there is a formula for that. I came up with a formula that for you, the beginner, will always work. Okay, even if you're a bit more advanced builder and you building a house, and for an example, you're building in a house on a 40 by 40 or 50 by 50, and then you see that your house is too big to the lot. You have more house, less, I don't know, garden around it, or backyard, or you don't have enough space for a pool or something. There is a formula, and the formula goes like this. Any lot, and this is a 20 by 20, you can see over here in the top left corner, you can see the size of the lot, the dimensions of the lot, okay? Any lot, you're gonna go and cut it in half. So if this is a 20 by 20, your house will not go over, this is the formula, 20 by 20, your house is not gonna go over bigger than 10 by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So your house will not go bigger than this. And why? Because in that way you can still move it around, let's say to this area. Let me take that mailbox quick down, okay? So in this method you still have enough space for, let's say, a garden or a backyard, maybe a place for a car, for a garage or something. So let's go to tip number 3, which I kinda covered it already. Start small to mid-size. As I stated before, so this is a really quick tip for you. Do not go with over-the-top builds as a beginner. Do not go with 40 by 40 lots and higher tiers, okay? Do not go with 50 by 50 and 64 by 64. Try to keep your lots and builds as a beginner on 30 by 30, which is a medium-sized houses, and go down, okay? It will make sure that you're still focusing, you're a bit more focusing on your build, you're not going all over and not doing some mistakes that at the end will cause you to give up and say, okay, that's not working for me, okay? So do not go with big builds when you're starting building. And because we have a box in front of me right now, this is tip number 4. Box is great to start with. This is the box, okay? And it's okay. You saw me, all those who following me on the channel, you saw me building some crazy builds. All of my builds, do not feel bad. All of my builds starting from a box. The thing is how you, tip number 5, unboxing your box. So this is our box, and I'm gonna try to build a modern style house. So for modern style house, I do recommend for you, regardless the type of your house, I do recommend for you to do some research before you even start building. You're not gonna invent the wheel again, okay? So do some research, get some inspiration. Pinterest is one of the things that I'm using a lot when I'm creating something. Google it, look for images, I don't know, go for a walk outside and see a nice build, try to make it in The Sims 4. Do some research before you starting just to build, but because I'm familiar with building a modern style houses, I'm gonna show you how I do it. Taking the box and strip it, cut it, trim it, extend it, do stuff to it with other boxes. When I said that this is your box, it means that I'm not gonna make it bigger, okay? You remember the formula? Half of the size of the lot is gonna be your house. So you're not gonna stretch it a bit bigger. You can stretch it a bit bigger, but you need to take some other parts off, just like this. So let's take off, using the control key, I can start strip this, this box. So I'm gonna strip it like this, and modern style houses really enjoy play with heights. Okay, they love to be with different heights. Okay, so we're gonna play with heights right now. So you see, I just took some chunks of this build, and I'm gonna add, because I took some chunks, I'm gonna add some. Okay, so let's add one here. Let's add one over here and one over here. And I'm gonna add another floor, so we are gonna add another box over here. Okay, and another box over here. But you see, I'm still inside of the border of the house. Okay, so now let's add another wall over here. And I'm thinking maybe to add another one here. Maybe, I'm not sure about this one. We'll see what's going on with this one. So this is how I came up with the overall shell of the build. And that leads me to tip number 6, roofing. So roofing, right now on the screen you can see some types of roofs, and it really depends on the type of builds that you're trying to create, okay? Modern style houses are most of the time using flat roofs, but you can add some half gabled roof and play with them. I'm gonna try and keep it simple because I don't want you to go and mix stuff in your head, okay? So now, because I know that modern houses are using flat roofs, this is the time for me to add the roof, and we're gonna play, just like I said before, we're gonna play with heights for this roof. I want to add those area just like this, like so. Maybe I'll cut it a bit, like this. Okay, yeah, I like it, like this. And now I'm gonna play a bit with heights on the roof itself. So I'm gonna add this line over here, maybe this line like so. And now I'm gonna use the smaller short walls to kind of close the whole thing together. Okay, maybe add it over here like this. On this area here, just to make sure it's not make sure it's still speaking the same language, let's call it. I'm gonna add a really flat roof over here, like this. And you know what? Maybe I'm gonna do this to add this thing like this to that area. Okay, let's do this and this. So you see, this is how simple it is. Once you have something in mind, once you know how to play with those boxes, this is how simple it is for you to create a house, okay? Now, just before I go to show you how to pick your colors for your design, I really want to show you how I create a house, or more like how to create roofing for a house that is not modern style house. So there we go. Right here you can see a shell of a house that I created over here. As you can see, I applied all the tips that I just mentioned to you in this build. This build is 30 by 20, and of course, because I'm building it over here, this house is gonna be a mid-century house. So I want to show you how I create a mid-century roof for this shell. Now, just as I told you, you really need to do some research, okay? So put a mid-century house in front of you when you're trying to build a roof for your house, and then you'll have much more easy time. So right now on the screen, I'll put a house that is a mid-century vibe. And by this picture, you're gonna see how I try to make my own mid-century style roof. Now, one of the most common roofs for mid-century houses is actually called the butterfly roof, which means that you're gonna take a half-gabled roof, place it from this side to the left, and the second one is gonna be like here and to the right. Now, the idea is how you put it so it will fit to the design and will cover the whole thing, right? Okay, so to start off, what we want to do is to put like imaginary line, okay? The imaginary line is gonna kind of divide the whole build, okay? So our imaginary line is gonna be right here. Why? Because right here is gonna be a half-gabled roof, and let's place it like so. And we're gonna stretch it over here, and over, all the way back over there, and all the way over here. Okay, beautiful. And now you're gonna take the same half gabled roof to the left side, stretch it all the way back, ooh, like so. We're gonna lower it right now, using the Alt key, of course. You can use the Alt key, and then you can move it freely, okay? So use the Alt key. Now, as I stated before, you want the roof not to be at the same height. So we're gonna play with it a bit later, but right now we're gonna stretch this thing over here all the way. Perfect. Now we're gonna lower it using the Alt key, because it shouldn't be so high, okay? And same goes to this area, but it's still gonna be a bit bigger or a bit higher, it's more like it, than the other one. Okay, now I'm not quite sure about this area here, okay? So to fix that, we can cut this thing all the way here, like so, and take the same one, copy it over here, and just move it. So it will fit, like this. Now, what I wasn't quite sure about is actually the length of it. Okay, so now I do want it to go all the way almost to here, because I have a plan for a garage roof, but to do so, instead of just grabbing this area like this, I'm gonna use the Shift key, use that area over here, that arrow here, and hold Shift and stretch it from one side. Perfect, look at that. So this is like gonna be like a chilling barbecue area for the family, and it looks great. This is the garage, so I want to close the roof above it, so we're gonna take another half gabled roof over here, like so. Stretch it all the way. Great. Now we're gonna lower it using the Alt key. And now we're gonna do the same thing that we've done here. We're gonna hold the Shift key using the arrow to stretch it all the way. Perfect. And use the Alt key again to try and make them connect. Okay, I want this one to go, no, I want this one to go a bit lower. And look at this. Really, roofing is one of the most complicated thing in the game, so if you want me to do a dedicated video about roofing, let me know in the comment section down below. One thing that I want to finish here, just to show you that you don't really have to use roof only on roof area, okay? You can use it to create and manipulate it, so it will actually bring a bit more uniqueness to the build. So we're gonna do this and this. I'm gonna take another one over here. I want to give the mid-century vibe to this build, really. So let's do this. Yeah, that's cool. And here is gonna be like some sort of window, okay? But really, this is how simple it is to create a roof for a mid-century house. And now let's go back to the modern build that we are building. Okay, so tip number 7, coloring, is something that a bit more complicated to explain, okay? Because there is no right and wrong in terms of coloring, but there are some tips that I can give you as a beginners. So for an example, if you're building a modern house like this one, the colors that you really want to go with are gonna be black, white, brown, all type of browns kinda, gray. Those are the types of modern style houses, okay? Yes, you can add, of course, like one wall that is gonna be like a different color, but you really want to pick yourself, and this is the biggest tip of the things regarding colors. Do not go crazy with colors. Pick yourself 1, 2, and up to 3 colors that's gonna go to the main house, okay? So let's get to it, and let's pick. I want to go with wood, which is great for modern houses. And again, use something for an inspiration, for guiding lines. So I am trying to bring those differences that the eye can actually notice them. So now I want to go with concrete. You know what? Concrete is awesome. I think it's not exactly what I was what I had in mind, but that's actually can work. Okay, so you can see I'm using now gray, which is nice. I'm using it on a specific area. You see, I'm not like putting the whole area in concrete. Okay, oh, I just missed here this one. Okay, I think that's great. Now the last color is gonna be this one. This one is great. Perfect. Okay, so this is the colors for this area. Great, look at that. Now, don't feel bad if at some point you are trying to change something. That's totally normal, that's alright. Sometimes you need to change the walls, the colors, to fit more your vision, your design, your house. Now it's time to tip number 8, windows, opens, and doors. Okay, so to start off, you really my main tip for you is not to go super crazy with windows and doors. It's really doesn't really matter what you're trying to build, okay? Well, there are some exceptions sometimes. For example, if you're trying to build a mall, yeah, you might want to have really big opening and windows, but when trying to build houses, you really don't want to, because you still want to have walls. So, because those walls are giving the tone for your build. They're giving the border for your house. So if the whole house is only windows, you're not gonna see house, okay? Even here, I have some sort of formula that's gonna work for you. Not 100% of the time, but most of the time, okay? So the formula is this: one wall window and one wall up to 2 walls without window, okay? Now, because we are building in modern style houses, I'm actually gonna use those big windows because they are the best that you can get. You can go with one and one over here like this, and I like that. And you can go with so many things, but just because I placed one here and one here, now I'm not gonna place windows all over here, okay? Because this area is really nice looking like this, okay? You don't want to overflow it with windows. This area, I don't think I'm even gonna go with windows because I don't want it to have windows. I want it to be flat and nice. So if I am gonna put windows right now, I think here I'm gonna place windows. So I can go, remember the formula, you can go 1 and then, oh, Zach, you can go 1, then not placing another one, and then place another one. But when you're building in modern style houses, yes, there are some exceptions. Because if you're gonna take not this one or this one, okay, it is already acting as 2 windows in one area, right? So yeah, that's gonna be an exception. Sometimes you do want to have a big balcony, but the formula for basic builders, just so you won't make the mistake of floating the build with windows, go with 1 yes, 1 no, 1 yes, okay? 1 no, 1 yes. This is gonna work for you every time, okay? Now, of course, colors, I want to fit to the brown. Okay, so this area is great. Now over here. So yeah, big windows are actually good for our build here. But just to show you, I'm not gonna go like this. Okay, let's place this one and color it black because black goes great with gray. I'm not gonna go this, like this, like this, this, and I'm gonna add more of them over here. I'm not gonna go like that. You don't even have any walls anymore. You see, that's why I'm giving you the basic formula for beginners. Go with 1 yes and 1 no. Okay, so I just finished with the with windows. Let's go with doors. Again, you really need to find the doors that gonna be the most suitable for your design. Actually, I like this one, and I can play with the colors. So try to fit the colors of the door to the build. So as you can see, this door is white and gray, and it's working great with the windows. And yeah, of course I can go with some other things like this one and that one and so many others, and you can even go with those one, but I don't think they are gonna fit here. But really there isn't much to say and teach about doors, okay? Doors, just try to find the door that is the most suitable for the style of the build. So now I'm just gonna cover a few more things. One of them is tip number 9, landscaping. Now landscaping is really tough to teach. I'm gonna try to simplify it for you and to give you some tricks that a lot of YouTubers and a lot of builders actually never do. We're gonna start with the house border. You can see that this house actually is now standing on the ground, okay? And it looks like it is well, it doesn't look realistic, right? It is look like something that just put it here, right? So to fix that and give it a bit more realistic vibe, you go to the terrain tool, grab yourself a starter soil or something that is brown, okay? And grab the smallest circle brush, and now just start to go all over it, like this, like so. Okay, just look at that. It took me literally 30 seconds to do that, and look how beautiful it is affecting it. It actually looked like a house that is built into the ground and not just placed here. Okay, so this is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is try when you are placing outdoor trees and bushes and stuff like this. For an example, if I'm gonna do here a trail for the house, okay, let's go with this because it feels like a modern style one. Let's do a trail like so. Okay, perfect. And let's do a parking spot like this. The same thing that I've done here, try to apply it to the exterior, because those tiles are not on the ground just like that. Yes, they have, like in real life, they have border just like the house has. So just apply it, also make sure it's a bit more smoothly and go around it like this, like so. And look how in second, really how much time it took me. Nothing, right? Look how simple it is to give your design a bit more realistic vibe if you're trying to create something realistic. Same thing goes to bushes. I'm really not gonna go all over here and do the whole build, but if you're creating for yourself, I don't know, like a small area here with bushes, of course play with the size of them. Okay, let's place a cacti? I'm not quite sure how you say that. Okay, so we have an area over here. It looks weird if you're not placing, for an example, some stones. People forget about those stuff. They're just placing some bushes and they forget about stones. They forget about just what I just showed you. Place a soil underneath them. They will upgrade your design by so much, it will actually feel like a real house. Look at that. So this is how simple it is to do a good landscaping if you really want to try and bring a bit more uniqueness to your build. So first of all, we want to create, those are balconies. So I want to do one small modification. I really want to take this area down and to separate them to two areas. Perfect. Now, modern houses really want to have a glass railing. Okay, it just look good. There we go, something like this all over here and here. Where is it? Thank you. Like this. Perfect. On this area I'm gonna create it all around here like so. Perfect. And of course I want to add some colors and finish the whole area upstairs. Now, the area upstairs, there is a really nice way to create the roof and finish it. So you go to trims, to the trim section, and not go with the first friezes, you go with the exterior trims, okay? In this point, you're gonna go and take the exterior trim inlaid, okay? And pick the brown color, which is this one. And you're gonna apply it to this area. Now you can see that it's gonna color the whole thing unless you're gonna hold the shift key like this, and then you can see that it is coloring only this area, only this line. Now if you want to get rid of this area here and just apply it to this area, what you want to do is to separate and divide it. But as you can see, it's gonna affect the whole color around it. But now you can actually take down this area alone. You can see it's not gonna take the whole line. It's gonna take only this area, and now you can take down those walls again and apply colors all over again to the walls. Those are the small touches, really small touches that are gonna improve your build enormously. Like, there's no way really to describe how they're changing and improving your builds. This is the after, this is the before. It looks so much better. Small touches gonna increase the amount of beautiness that your build has. So for the roof, we are gonna go, first of all, we're gonna finish those, we're gonna fix that brownish lines, which is horrible. We're gonna go to the wall section. You go to half wall trims, and that thing gonna color the whole area here. So we're gonna go with brown, that it's a bit more brown, to the areas that are brown, okay? Perfect, but this area is more like a gray, so we're gonna go and switch it to a gray color, which is not really gray. So you need to keep looking for, and if you can find a gray one, go with white one. White one is always better than just leave it as a brown one. Okay, so after you've done that, what we want to do is kind of fill the whole area here with white, so it will feel like a solid flat roof. So to do that, you really need to have one specific pack, which is the Get to Work. You can find those small, some sort of a display thing, and they can fill the whole area with white, like so. I'm holding shift to copy it all over this area, just like so. I'm using this method a lot in my build. So right now you're gonna see how I use all the tips that I just showed you and how I implementing them into the build. So I'll see you at the end of it with another last one tip. So stay tuned and enjoy this small speed build. Okay, so here we are. This is after I implemented all the things that I covered in this video to my build here, to our build, which is the modern style house. And now there is another thing that I want to cover with you, which is a lighting. This is a bonus for you, exterior lighting. So let's get to it. So exterior lighting is some of the most, well, I think underrated in the Sims 4 game. I don't see much people spending much time lighting the exterior of the build, and this is kind of important. You know what? Because you're spending so much time on your design, on your amazing build, and then when you go to nighttime, look at that you don't see a house, right? So you need to know how to light your build the best way, and there are a few things that you can do. So first of all, if we are talking about modern builds really love spotlights that are coming from the ground and lights that are actually literally they are lighting the walls. Okay, so you go to here, which is the outdoor area, and go to this outdoor lights. Okay, And right here you have, of course, a bunch of them, but if you are playing only on base game, so those are the lights that you are that you have, and to be honest, you don't need anything other than those, because modern houses really enjoy those three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now, if you are building something like a suburban house or more like a farmhouse, I will suggest to you to go with lights like those. Those are a wall-mounted lights, or maybe lights like those, which are a road mark lights, I guess. But for the purpose of the video, those lights will be perfect. Now, the idea here is how to put them. Okay, so we're gonna start by lighting the build itself, because this is the most important thing. And here's some tricks for you. First of all, go to nighttime, and then grab yourself the lights, put them on the side here, and then press E, so you can basically duplicate them. Move them around, you can spin them around with the arrows in the keyboard, and you really want to light the walls. Okay, now this is important. I see people put like one wall like so, and you see the beautiful light. It's kinda illuminated from the bottom to the top. That's beautiful, and that's how modern style houses should be lit by those lights. And I'm gonna give you another tip. Do not place only one light. If you want to be a bit more bright, place another one. And if you want to be a bit more bright, press another one, okay? You don't need to place only one. Now, the next one is not gonna be near it, because you do want to create some sort of a triangle between those lights. So you're gonna place one here, and the next one is gonna be a bit far away from it, maybe even here, okay? 1, 2, 3. Important thing, remember to place the same amount of lights, so the light will be similar between those two, okay? But I think I need to move it one over here. Perfect. You can see now it looks amazing. Okay, so let's do the same thing around the house. Okay, let's place another one here. 1, 2, and let's place it like here. 1, 2. I don't want to place 3 because I think it's gonna be a bit too strong. Now I can place another one here. 1, 2, and place it 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again over here. I think here it's too much bright, so we're gonna take one of each of them. Now it's better. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. Okay, and I want, of course, to bring some light to that area. So I'm gonna place one here, one over here, 1, 2. I think this is gonna be enough, and 1, 2. Now look at this. Okay. So this is how you light the whole building around it. Now, those lights here, those are the spotlights from the ground, I call them. You want to place them, and I really enjoy placing them as a guidelines for walking. So you can place one over here, and one over here, one over here, like so. And look how beautiful it looks. And you can place lights over here behind the car. By the way, those who are not sure where the car is from, it is from the debug section, okay? And maybe now you can use those. They call this superlative, I think I said it right. They are very strong in lights, so they can perfectly light your bushes, okay? So you can place one like inside the bushes over here, and one over here, and one maybe over here. You can play with sizes, of course. Use the brackets to do that. Look how beautiful it is looking right now. Okay, so this is how you are lighting your project, your build. Of course, in different types of builds, you're gonna need to use different type of lamps, but the overall idea is roughly the same, okay? So this is course 101 for builders, for beginners. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, it's gonna be awesome if you can just hit the like button, share this tutorial, this building guide with your friends. Let them know how to build a basic house for beginners. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. And until next time, keep that Sims party going for me. RGR Gaming signing off.